Now, as the chairperson of this session, I would like to request Dr. I.S. Gambhir sir to kindly grace the stage. Dr. I.S. Gambhir sir. Thank you, sir. This is Professor Dr. R.C. Ahuja oration. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Sandeep Suri, sir, an eminent endocrinologist known for his work in diabetes care. He will present on precision medicine in action, integrating, promoting genomics and microbiomics for individualized CKM care. Please welcome Dr. Sandeep, sir.
Good morning, friends. At the outset, I must thank Dr. Ashutosh Palvi Madam for giving me an opportunity to do a prestigious oration, Dr. R.C. Ahuja oration. I am going to talk something about basic science, but I will try to make it amalgamated into more of clinical practice, because we are all clinicians. We cannot go directly towards lab and looking at the genomics and microbiomics and metabolomics. Something these things becomes omics. So if I keep on talking about these things, most of you may have some nap. But I will give you some things that you can apply into practice. Okay. So friends, India is moving ahead. We can have a glimpse from here. India moving from healthcare follower to global leader in precision medicine. It's our own Union Minister, Dr. Jitendra Singh. And he was delivering this lecture. And more than 11,000 biotech setups and Bio E3 policies are powering Indian bioeconomic expansion. Genetic diversities are immense. We must appreciate that we have more than 4,000 to 5,000 distinct communities. So huge gene pool is there. It is that we are not looking at this gene pool, and we are only looking at the Western population, Western data. We are not looking at our own because it has not been developed. So Genome India initiative has already accomplished sequences more than 10,000 Indian individuals with a goal of sequencing on million genomes to strengthen preventive healthcare and disease prediction. These are the things which are coming up in very, you can say, upcoming 5 years or 10 years. So the future of medicine will be shaped by multi-omics. You are not going to learn about multi-omics. Only thing you will get the point of care devices. Just you are using anti-pro-BNP, pro-calcitonin, HSCRP, troponin T. These are the things which have come from the labs. And now we are using them in making the early diagnosis, prognostication, and treatment. So multi-omics technologies are coming up in a big way, including genomics, epigenetics, transcriptomics, and proteomics. These are the terms which sometimes for a busy clinician may look somewhat confusing, but they are very easy to understand. And they are going to be integrated with artificial intelligence. So whole thing has changed. If you put whole data into artificial intelligence, you will get the answers. You will know which are the things which can prognosticate the patient, what are the therapies that can be working through for this individual patient who is sitting in front of you. So it's very important to have patient-centric, individualized approach to CKM syndrome. So in today's journey of my lecture, I will be making you something regarding understanding CKM syndrome framework, multi-omic revolution, clinical application in practice, and future direction and implementations. So what is CKM syndrome? Everybody knows in this hall, and it's a purely dedicated conference to CKM syndrome. Only thing, remember, these are not silos. These all organs, heart, kidney, liver, and adiposity or adipose tissue of gut and brain, they are totally interlinked with each other. They are not silent, separate. You have cardiologists, you have got nephrologists, you have got urologists, you have got gastroenterologists. We have been practicing like this, and we are not tuned to work in a under same one roof. So that's why this fragmented approach is giving us a problem. Now it's time to understand it is a CKM syndrome, and diabetes is a one part of this CKM syndrome. CKD is a main part of this syndrome. Obesity is a part of this syndrome. Not only these are risk factors, but they are key driver of CKM syndrome. There is a bidirectional relationship between these organs. There is a great cross-talk, continuously talking with each other. Even we human people don't talk with each other. These are the organs, they keep on talking by secreting cytokines, by adipokines, hepatokines, myokines. These are the hormones, these are the signals which leads to bidirectional relationship between organs. That means if one organ is involved, another organ is definitely involved. Definitely involved. So there is a huge spectrum of disease progression. There are various stages. Stage 0, when there is no risk factor, primordial prevention is required at this stage. Stage 1, there is when there is excess adiposity, and now we are targeting this adiposity, this ectopic fat, waist circumference. Stage 2 is diabetes and CKD. So CKD is a big driver. Why CKD is being encircled? Because CKD has got its own risk factor, its own unique factors, like anemia is there, uremic toxins are there, secondary hyperparathyroidism is there. So they all lead to further progression of atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Then there is subclinical CVD, and then there is clinical CVD plus minus CKD. Remember, medicine is not only a science, it's also an art. And it does not consist of compounding pills and plasters. And new generation, they must remember this. It deals with every process of life. So you have to learn a patient or a person from head to toe. So wholesome examination, wholesome history taking and detailed bedside examination is very, very important. So there is a paradigm shift in diabetes care. Traditional approach, one size fits all, protocols based and average responses. We always talk about evidence based medicine. इस दवाई का evidence क्या है? RCT कितना strong है? Phase 3 trial कितना strong है? This is usual approach. But whether this is fitting into my patient who is sitting in front of you, so that is known as precision medicine. So moving from evidence-based medicine to precision medicine. So tailored approach based on molecular profile. Each and every patient may not respond. GLP-1 patients may be no responder. Some patients, even in the trials, they have regained weight, or they have gained even weight on tirzepatide also. And many of them will be super responders. They will be super responders. So there is a great heterogeneity. So what tells the heterogeneity? It's a multi-omic triad. Not only triad, it can be pentad or it can be hexad. Genomics and epigenomics, DNA variants, transcriptomics, and then proteomics, protein biomarkers. And then comes your metabolomics and microbiomics. So there is a 6 omics which are considered as a hexad. Now I will give you some data or some recent updates which have come into the publications. These are very, very recent publications, and some good insights which came from JAMA just this month also. CKM medication eligibility across national survey. Which are the patients which are requiring CKM? So CKM means out of every 3, there will be one person having one part of CKM. So if you look at the global prevalence, it may be more than 30%. Indian prevalence may go even beyond 30 to 45%. So rising burden of obesity and cardiovascular disease and cardiovascular kidney metabolic syndrome is expanding indication for newer and newer molecules. GLP-1 receptor analogs, SGLT2 inhibitor and non-steroidal MRAs. Now if you look at the national survey, 60 to 61% adults, they met indicators for at least one CKM medication, at least one. GLP-1 receptors roughly around 50%, SGLT2 roughly around 35%, and NSMRA roughly around 5 to 6%. And there is a great overlap between 12 to 17% eligible patients for GLP-1 and SGLT2, 5% eligible for triple therapy also. So there is a huge burden. It's not only this study, NAN study, pooled cohort, MGB and BA-MIXI, all these epidemiological studies, they have clearly indicated there is great overlap and more number of patients will be requiring these therapies. But issue is that which patient will be responding? For which patient GLP-1 will be better? Which patient SGLT2 inhibitor will be better? For which patient NSMRI will be better? So this all comes answer from the omics. So another thing, we should not forget about the risk factor. We should not forget about the traditional risk factor. You have got one important traditional risk factor for CKM syndrome is hypertension. Because 50% of the CVD will be derived directly by the hypertension. It leads to more than 10 million deaths per year alone in CKM syndrome. So if you target intensive blood pressure control, and this was a Chinese study, and this study was from the Rural Hypertension Control Project. And remember, this study was when they talk about hypertension and they delivered hypertension management through trained non-physician practitioners. Very simple. Traditionally non-physician practitioner, you can see the stage 2 hazard ratio comes to 61. So roughly around 40% reduction. Stage 3 roughly around 30% reduction by just controlling the targets of hypertension. Even if the stage 3 of CKM, you get around 23-24% reduction in mortality. So, but somewhat increased risk of hypotension that was there, but targeting blood pressure, simply going below 30 to 130 to 1 by 80 provides consistent cardiovascular benefit across all stages of CKM syndrome. So this is important. We should not forget about the traditional way of managing the individual risk factor also. So coming to precision medicine in CKD, why CKD is important? I have just told you, this has got its own unique pattern of manifesting CVD. Cardiovascular disease and metabolic disorder is advancing through integrated multi-omic approach. Genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, metabolomics and microbiomics. What this will lead us to? Early detection. कौन से पेशेंट को या कौन से पर्सन को फ्यूचर यू विल डेवलप these CKM syndrome, which are the patients who are going to develop more CKD, who are going to develop a severe CKD, which are the patients who will be having more deterioration in EGFR. So early detection, risk stratification and personalized therapeutic interventions can be done by using multi-omic integration. Even by doing molecular profiling, you can just reclassify CKD patient into mechanism-based subgroups. That means improving diagnosis beyond EGFR and proteinuria. Because many of these patients, you will find that some of these patients may not be having any albuminuria, still they have got deteriorating EGFR. So the reasons can be different. Some of these patients may be stabilized at a certain GFR and certain albuminuric state. Maybe subtle increase, but most of these are stabilized. And some of these patients has got very poor or very progressive rate of albuminuria and EGFR. So they are all heterogeneous population. Then coming to microbiomics and biomarker discovery through gut microbiome profiling. It's another signature of your human body. Gut microbiome profiling provides insight into host microbiome interaction, and that leads to direct correlation with CKD. There is carbohydrate active enzyme genes. There are known genomics and proteomics biomarker for CKD that they are just coming from your gut microbiota. There are single nucleotide polymorphism at various stages like MHA9. I will not go to these details, but importantly, few things like CKD 273 urinary proteomic biomarker panel. There is a huge panel that just prognosticate which are the patients who are poor responder, who will be having rapid progression of their renal function, rapid deterioration, who will be stabilized, who will be requiring steroids, who will be requiring disease modifying agents. So that comes from your CKD 273 urinary proteomic biomarker panel. There is pantothenic acid metabolite pattern also that can be seen by microbiomics. So these biomarkers, they will help you to get early CKD detection, disease progression, prediction and pathway identification. So you can have newer and newer molecules coming up for management of CKD and also CKM syndrome. There is urinary proteomics that detect early molecular change in diabetic kidney disease, even in heart failure and coronary artery disease. This CKD 273 classifier is important to remember because it gives you an outcome which has a strong risk association. You can see the 4-time higher hazard ratio, 4-fold higher for CKD. If there is more and more number of markers are positive in CKD 273 classifier, heart failure can go to even up to three-fold higher. Coronary artery disease can go to even 2-fold higher. So in place of silico modeling, that means individual modeling of various organ disorder, it can simulate patient-specific benefit therapy like MRAs, SGLT2 inhibitor, DPP inhibitors, ARB, GLP-1 receptor agonists. And then you can put these all information into artificial intelligence, machine learning tool, and you can get a multi-omic panel into your baby bedside tool, and that can give you an important information, and that has been achieved. It is not all theory. Already the people have done a great work into this. There is a kidney precision medicine project also that had integrated pathology, multi-omics to build a kidney tissue atlas. It's a totally different ball game, but gives you very, very important clinical information. So large and overlapping eligibility of CKM therapies underscores the need for precision medicine to identify right patient, right drug, right time approach, and right combination treatment for optimal cardiovascular, kidney, and metabolic outcomes. What are the emerging cardiovascular risk factors in chronic kidney disease, omic pattern? There are various even non-traditional risk factors in the form of chronic inflammation, oxidative stress markers. They have been seen, and high throughput omics technologies, they have given us novel cardiovascular risk marker for CKD also. So this multi-omic discoveries enhance understanding of CVD mechanism and CKD and support the development of targeted therapies for our patient for CKM syndrome. But all things are not that much easy. This is the trajectory. You can see the traditional risk factors. We all know them: hypertension, obesity, smoking, family history, and then non-traditional risk factor in the form of chronic inflammation. Then goes to high cost multi-omic profiling, expensive. This always say it's very expensive, research tools, but data interpreting and complexity is being solved because of usage of artificial intelligence. So these are the omic studies for CKD also, and they have integrated multi-omics and AI that enables the earlier diagnosis and precision treatment for chronic kidney disease. Similarly, multi-omics and urinary proteomics enable early detection and precision management of CKD and CVD, reducing reliance on invasive diagnostic tools. Kidney tissue proteomics also gives you novel molecular targets and improve understanding and treatment of cardio-kidney metabolic diseases. So they are always helping to us, and they are coming future. That means not far away, maybe 2 years or 3 years, you will get more and more data on profiling of our patients. So integrating multi-omics and machine learning can redefine CKD and CKM syndrome into molecular subtypes. You have seen heterogeneity of type 2 diabetes. There is SERD, there is SID, there is MOD, or there is MDR. There are multiple, and they are all behave very differently. They are not all type 2 diabetic patients are same. Each and every type 2 diabetic patient is very, very different. Some may be having microvascular complications, some may be having early onset macrovascular complications, some may be having only nephropathy, and that is deteriorating, may not be having retinopathy. Everything is so much complex, but it's the beauty of science. The heterogeneity is the beauty of science. So integrating multi-omics and machine learning can redefine CKD into molecular subtypes, enabling more precise diagnosis, risk prediction, and targeted therapy. These are all same thing, but this is how it happens. From where these multi-omics comes. Initially, there is a clinician, researcher, ethical committee, and lawyers and biostatisticians. They sit together, they form a protocol, ethical approval is there, then informed consent is taken, then material and data and transfer and agreement that has been taken. After that, clinician researchers, they take into the consideration and they take the disease model in vivo and also ex vivo and also in vitro. That means animal studies and human studies all are taken and samples type is decided. After that, genomics, epigenomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, and metabolomics are determined. And then you put these all data into omic data integration statistics, and that is known as machine learning. And from where you get all information. There is early diagnosis due to this outcome, early diagnosis, detection, risk prediction, personalized medicine care, and cost effectiveness. Gut microbiome I am not going to touch because this is another oration also by Dr. Patni. Urinary proteomics for precision prediction of CKD is very important, already highlighted to you, and they will enable to predict the cardiorenal event and guide personalized therapeutic care. Then I will go to this is another thing which has been already done in cancers. They are already receptor targeted therapies, enzyme targeted therapies which are there in cancer studies. Probably that is more important. We should use this more into CKM. So things are coming up in next 1 or 2 years. You will find all these things on your apps. So this is how they do it: pan-cancer classification, then modeling clinical features, and then cancer subtyping, and then drug response prediction also. They give 1 or 2 targeted therapy and they can see the remission, or they can see the even reversal, or they can see the resolution of the cancers. But issue is that there is current implementation challenges. What are these challenges? Cost and reimbursement issues are there. Limited clinician familiarity with omic data. Just a priming lecture today. Siloed specialties care models are there. Everywhere you find very high intensive cardiovascular CTVS therapies and CTV cardiovascular, then nephrology departments and neurology department and gastroenterology department, but there is interaction is very poor. Need for interdisciplinary correlation and collaboration. So how to overcome this barrier? Integrated cardiorenal metabolic clinics are required. I think we should stop writing diabetes clinic. We should stop writing obesity. We should go more to cardiorenal metabolic clinics. This is much more comprehensive umbrella term and which will include everything. Otherwise, our focus will remain only on HbA1c or on BMI or on waist circumference or on hepatology or FIB4 score like that, but we will not be integrating or chasing EGFR or micronuria or ACR. We will not be integrating cardiorenal metabolic clinics. So it's very important. Then reimbursement is required. Enhanced education on precision medicine is required, and clinical decision support tools are required. So point of care omics technologies that will be coming to you, that will be very, very easy, just like your navigation, just like your Google map, you will find out the things. These are things which are coming up very, very easy. Electronic health record integration is required, and most of us, we should try to use EMR, we should try to use all record, because whatever the data you are generating, that is very important, and data is really a gold and, or you can say diamond for you. Pharmacoequity initiatives and validation of diverse population is important. We are having various molecules, so number of molecules will be increasing, but precision medicine is important to be remembered. So the best way to predict future is to create it. So we always ask, we always say, Sankalp se Srishti. So this is important to remember. Once you think about learning these, then you will learn it very easily. So we are architects of precision medicine for future. So remember, we have to do it. We have to do it. And India has got largest gene pool, so much diversity. So we should use this. So key takeaway, number one, CKM syndrome demands integrated approach. It is not isolated siloed approach. Multiomic reveals molecular heterogeneity. Genomics guides drug selection. Some of your patient may not be responding to ACE inhibitors. Some of your patient may be resistant to clopidogrel. We all know it. Some of your patient may not be responding even to 500 to 1000 milligram of metformin. They will not tolerate even some, because the OCT1, the organic cation transporter, they are altered. So what to do? So genomic guides drug selection. Proteomics enables early detection. Microbiomes is a therapeutic target. Improve the gut microbiome flora. AI enhances clinical decision making, and implementation requires system change. Precision medicine going to improve the outcome. So moving forward but together. Embrace multi-omics in clinical practice. Collaborate across specialties. Keep on talking, keep on interacting, keep on having CMEs and all. I think most of these CMEs should have these type of topics, which are many of us don't read it. Advocate for precision medicine infrastructure and continue education in emerging technologies. So whatever the art of medicine is, wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love for humanity. And I think this is again going for the postgraduates which are very going to be passed out. The art of medicine is love for humanity. It's not changing the vitamin M always. It is important to remember love for humanity, and precision medicine is humanity meets technology. Thank you for the patient listening. Even I learned something when I prepared this topic. Many of my colleagues, senior colleagues, they told me, यार क्यों देने जा रहा है? This is not the topic for a clinician. मैं कहा और कौन करेगा? We will have to do it. We have to learn something basics. Something has to be learned. It's not detailed. Actually, when we look at the huge topic, hardware learn करने का जरूरत नहीं है आपको. Need not to learn about how this computer has been made, how these chips has been there. You have to know how to use it. So that makes the things very simple, because ultimately you have to use it. Okay, then things become very easy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.